Hi there, I'm back. We're going to start with part 3. So we've ended part 2 where we're actually making a statement that forgiving someone who has hurt you could be the greatest challenge of your life, but the greatest beginning to your new future. But if you choose to forgive, you will join those who are not being destroyed by bitterness, by anger, the hurt, or other toxic emotions. There's nothing quite like living in peace, knowing you are forgiven, a forgiven person. Forgiveness frees you from the toxic emotions that traps you in bitterness and in hate. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? That's brilliant. Let's quickly go through another couple of verses in the Bible. Matthew 6 verse 12 from the Lord's Prayer, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. Right, again it states that. Now the teaching on forgiveness, Romans 12 verse 18 to 21 again. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceable with all. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave I, God, to do the wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, says God. I will repay, says the Lord. To the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. For by doing so you will heap burning coals on his head. Hey? So without having to be revengeful, without having to think of ways to hurt this person, God will do this by actually helping you to heap burning coals on this person's head by doing good. That's an interesting statement. I mean, where would we do our enemies? The enemy hurts us and we give him water, we give him food, we help him. But God's point is basically, do not be overcome by evil, but rather overcome evil with good. That's God's point. Matthew 5 verse 39 to 41 says, but I tell you not to resist an evil person. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. If someone wants to sue you and take your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. And if someone forces you to go a mile, go with him too. Now that obviously depends on what the situation are, and it also depends on in the Israelites' time. There were certain reasons why this would specifically pertain to them. The one that I can think of, if someone forces you to go a mile, go with him too. Because apparently as I understand it, the Roman soldiers, if they were walking with you wherever, they were allowed to only walk with you 1 mile to force you to go somewhere. But you should force them to go 2 miles with them, and then it would have been out of their hands and they would just leave you and not hurt you and not do anything with you. I'm open to correction, but that's basically what it means. So in other words, just do that extra thing that they think is good in the beginning, but then actually you are putting hot coals on their heads by doing that, by being good to them. Okay, Proverbs 17 verse 9 says, love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. So it's nice to relieve yourself of that situation, free yourself of that situation, otherwise you will just make it worse. Luke 6 verse 35 to 36 says, but love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. So be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Hatred stirs old quarrels, says Proverbs 10 verse 12, but love overlooks insults. So there's a whole bunch of good verses that goes with this teaching. And it's important to go through each one of them. Like 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 says, each time he said, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now I'm glad to boast about my weakness so that the power of Christ can work through me. Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. So if we go according to these words, that means that He will really show you how to live life, show you how to proceed, show you how to be healed. And it's fantastic. It's really good. And I'm going to leave you again with this third part and go to a fourth part of forgiveness. And it will be where we actually set it step by step how you should react and how you should help yourself by forgiving yourself. Be blessed.